Hello, my name is Alireza Javadian Sabet from Politecnico di Milano, and I'm presenting the work entitled Conversation Graphs in Online Social Media on behalf of my co-authors Marco Brambilla and Amin Endas-Sulistiawati. The emergence of social media has profoundly changed the perspective of communication, which resulted in a revolution in the way people interact with each other. In online social media platforms, users can express their ideas by posting original content or by adding comments and responses to existing posts, thus generating virtual discussions and conversations. Reasons of people relying on social media platforms include, but are not limited to, interacting within the inner circle of friendship, entertainment purposes, or subscribing to news. Also, as presented in various work, the use of social media is evolving widely for knowledge-sharing purpose on online learning and question-answering platforms. Moreover, many companies adopt social media to utilize this growing trend to gain business values. The research questions addressed in this work are as follows. First, how to define appropriate graph models representing conversations on social media. Second, how to reconstruct complex conversations structures when they are not explicitly tracked by the social network platforms. Third, how to assign author intentions to posts and comments in the conversations. And the last research question is how to identify recurrent discussions patterns in conversation graphs. The proposal of this work is to offer a graph-based view on the discussion between social media contributors and to retrieve popular patterns on online conversations using network-based analysis. The proposed solution consists of three main stages: intent analysis, network generation, and pattern identification. We tested the proposed methodology on a real long-running live event, that is, a game challenge developed for Expo Milano 2015. The game was based on Instagram posts which are tagged by specific hashtags published every week by the event. During the whole challenge cycle of 9 weeks, we collected a large dataset containing more than 15,000 photos and 600,000 actions, including near 100,000 comments, thanks to the engagement of more than 80,000 participants. Users' intention described within the posts and comments is detected using the following pipeline. Initially, a list of category names is defined using popular keywords based on a set of bag of words. When the label names are set, keyword-based classification is performed to put a class label on each social media comment representing its meaning. Naive Bayes and support vector machine algorithms are then employed to improve the categorization process on the remaining uncategorized comments. A continuous human-in-the-loop approach further improves the keyword-based classification. The method categorizes 90% of the comments with 98% accuracy on the case study. With a subjective assumption, we conclude that the suitable categories for Instagram contents associated to the case study data are as follows: thank, congratulation, agreement, positive, invitation, food, greeting, question, hashtag, and other. The reason for selecting those 10 categories instead of a general sentiment analysis composed of positive, negative, and neutral is because we perform analysis on the data from social media challenge that has engaged a significant number of users. In this study, we want to determine their intention and opinion about the game. We expect with more categories would come the better understanding. To understand the user's communication patterns, we build conversation graphs starting from the hierarchical structure of posts and comments using a directed multi-graph network composed of 462,000 nodes and 1.5 million edges. The figure on the left presents a general social network design representing relationships among all components, such as posts, users, comments, locations, etc. The figure on the right displays a graph illustration of posts on social media. The path destination is needed, for instance, to describe the relationship between comment nodes within a conversation and to track which comments sequence. The figure on the left visualizes three posts, shown as the blue centers of the clusters, and associated relevant nodes that are users, comments, hashtags, location, and so on. The figure on the right shows the results of the intent analysis over the conversation about a specific photo. A reply edge connects one comment to one or more comments. These relationships portray the opinion exchange between the users. The following figure displays the number of conversations that occurred in all posts. X-axis is the conversation size and Y-axis indicates the number of conversations in each conversation size. Please note that the Y-axis is not scaled. A single comment that does not have a relation with any comment has the highest frequency. Conversations composed of two nodes are the most prevalent among all conversations. As we can see, the frequency decreases gradually as the size of the conversation increases, and most of the long conversations only occur once. Since the purpose of this work is to understand social media's communication behaviors related to the challenge, we are interested in studying long conversations in popular photos. Thus, we first perform our analysis on the photos with at least 30 comments. The following plot describes the spread of intent categories. As we can see, positive and thank comments dominate all conversations. Two other intent classes that appear almost in all variations of conversation size are greeting and question types. Comments with invitation and agreement intention are slightly expressed in most conversations, whereas congratulation comments are only mentioned in some discussions. And as expected, thank is not stated in solo conversations, which is most likely in a real discussion. Additionally, hashtag comments generally appear in single comments. In longer discussions, users participate in the challenge generally talk about compliments, gratitudes, and salutation. Considering such online conversations, by investigating the figure, one might conclude that by increasing the conversation size, the portion of most of the categories will be dominated by a fewer number of categories. In the end, food is the third significant topic mostly carried out in discussions. However, it is barely mentioned in large conversations. The variety in the number of comments for each conversation drives another idea in the time analysis. We would like to know if the time and length of conversations are correlated or not. This figure displays the number of conversations with respect to the size, that is the number of comments, and duration, that is the elapsed time. The calculation is done by subtracting the latest posted comment time and the first comment time. Durations range from less than 5 minutes until longer than 1 week. We were expecting that smaller conversations would take less time than longer ones. However, the result contradicts our assumption in general. According to the figure, we can conclude that mostly smaller discussions possibly have a longer duration. Conversations with 2 to 10 comments have all ranges of duration, while conversations composed of more than 10 comments tend to narrow the duration. The next analysis is to identify relevant patterns in terms of content. Results show that the most popular online discussion patterns obtained from conversation graphs resemble real-life interactions and communication. The table illustrates a heat matrix that details the occurrences of each combination of intents in the case of two-node patterns, that is, one comment followed by another. The matrix columns represent the intent of the initial comment, while the rows represent the intent of a comment that replies to the initial one. As we expected, the results indicate that The most popular pattern created in TwoNote is thank positive. In other words, a gratitude action is generally expressed after a compliment. The expansion method is initiated by selecting the most popular patterns. In this case, we selected intent combinations that have more than 1,000 occurrences. They are including thank positive, positive positive, thank food, and thank greeting. As we can see, the results show that the top pattern is thank positive. It replicates direct communication when a person says a compliment comment to their partner. Then the partner replies to express their gratefulness. Afterward, most likely, the first person replies with another gratitude comment. Other popular patterns are reasonable as well. However, the number of occurrences decreased significantly from the most popular one. In conclusion, by identifying the relationships among all comments on a social media post, the proposed methodology retrieves the discussions and constructs the conversational graphs. Also, by mining the constructed conversation graphs, the method identifies the popular conversation patterns. From one side, the patterns provide interesting insights into the social media users' preferences and behavior. On the other side, they can be used for designing conversational agents. In this slide, you can find the list of references discussed in this presentation. Thanks for the time and attention. Please do not hesitate to contact us for any question and suggestions.